we just can't stop getting W's. And by W's, I don't mean wins. Who cares about wins? I'm talking about happy Wednesdays. We get another happy Wednesday from the Tinto Talks team, big nice, but also we did a hotfix rundown for Victoria 3 where it was in fact on a Wednesday, so that's another happy Wednesday in the books. That's 2 happy Wednesdays per Wednesday. Last week we got a double happy Thursday. When will it end? Never, we hope. W's all around. Okay, welcome to another happy Wednesday for the 20th Tinto Talks, where we will give out a lot of secret information on our absolutely 100% secret big top project teaser, which is of course Europa Universalis 5, as everyone knows. First of all, I want to take this opportunity and thank you all for your great feedback, super, which is helping us shape this into an even better game. Today we will talk about what will replace the technology levels and national ideas of EU4. I've been waiting on this one. A lot of you guys suggested that the redacted from last week was in fact technology, and it seems you're correct, but they're getting mixed with national ideas. I really think that this sounds very good kind of at the outset. Let's take a closer look. While some aspects of the idea system were covered by the societal values and or laws of the country, this new system will cover the rest. So we will have advances, which is probably, I think that I like the merging of national ideas and technology levels into something that's a bit more abstract like advances, because this just intuitively makes sense to me. So taking a look here, we have Renaissance baking professional armies, and I'm not exactly sure what all these being here mean, unless that's the next advance we have to make. We see Age of Renaissance up here that has 91 available advances. We have Scholarly Treatises, which I assume is giving us some advancement speed. We are getting some amount of, juice. I almost said Diplo juice, but that's technology juice. 8 new reforms from 20% to 500%. I don't know what all this means. It's all very abstract. Taking a look at some of these advances, though, we see Scholarly Treaties, Revoked Privilege cost -5%, Embraced Institution cost -10%, Cultured Overlordship Subject Opinions +10, Classical Scholasticism Institution Growth +20%, Max Literacy of Nobles, which we know literacy gives you a bunch of good modifiers, so increasing the max is going to be good, +10%, and Peasant Levy. And maybe these advances are good for us. I feel like, so the way Johan writes, often he's sarcastic, so which of these advances might be bad for us? I guess maybe the noble literacy? I don't know. Peasant levies? We don't want the serfs belong on the turfs, not in the levies. I don't know. But this already, I'm super excited seeing this. This is great. What were different from the technology levels and ideas are now something called advances. Advances can unlock diplomacy, new units, new abilities for units, okay, interesting. New character actions, new subject interactions, new estate privileges, new laws, new policies and laws, new inheritance systems, new casus bellis, new government forms, new cabinet action bugs, new buildings. Man, he just went for it. He could have just said new once and then made a list of everything, but he just wanted to say new that many times. It's like the OxyClean commercial. But wait, there's new additional levels of buildings and new production methods. Okay, that's a lot of new. That's new for the news. All right, perfect. We got it. And advance can also unlock mechanics like investing in stability, building roads, collecting taxes, and much more. But wait, there's more. Last but not least, advances can also give you stats like more literacy for your nobles or better military tactics. This is so exciting. Okay, at the start of each age, you will get an advances tree, which will be unique to that country. Oh, baby, a triple. It being unique to the country is going to... I love having to, it's going to be fun if you have to plan and decide around a bit differently every game. Maybe there's going to be a big amount of overlap, but still some uniqueness. Okay, a tree usually contains about 100 advances, and we will see at the start of each age. So 100 advances of age. What happens if you don't get them? Okay, some of which are common, and some of which are specific to who you are playing. Perfect. Every tree, except the Age of Tradition, has 4 starting points, a common one, and 1 from each institution. Very cool. So we have different branches, and so we can go in different ways depending on our access to the institution, which is going to inform our play. So maybe we will also have a bit of replayability, in the sense that if we spawn an institution, we can play one way, but if we don't spawn it, we have to play a different way because we have access to different or fewer branches. The ones from an institution tend to unlock relevant features, relevant advances to that institution, which of course makes sense. And we can see classical scholasticism. So this is some of the stuff that we saw available here, and I'm assuming that it looks like this unlocks guilds and possible burghers in towns and cities. I can barely read that. Max literacy for burghers. Okay, it unlocks other stuff down like kind of a normal tech tree, which is, I think this is so much better than tech levels, which I thought were like always kind of very superficial, and they didn't like let you go for what you wanted to go for, right? And this is maybe going to allow you to influence your country to go for specific things. Eventually, all advances will have fitting and often unique icons, but for now, the sickle is good. This sounding a little Red Army there. About 70% of advances in a tree tend to be, or I guess there's no hammer. I guess you're sounding like farmer, not a Red Army. About 70% of all advances in a tree tend to be common for each country. Fantastic. But the rest depend entirely on which country you're playing. So, I mean, certainly there's overlap where some countries are going to share the same unique ones. Otherwise, if there's like 200 countries at game start, right? That's like 3,000, or 200 companies at game start, 30 each, that's like 6,000, or I can't do math. 6,000 different technologies. Over a third of the advances in a tree in Age of Renaissance and Discovery do not require any institutions to research, and so the rest ostensibly are going to require stuff to research. We see meritocracy. This must be from the one that appears in China. Imperial ambitions, which gives power projection. Cultural traditions, government. I can barely read this. Okay, abacus, tax efficiency. Maybe it's my eyes. No, not like this. Okay. This part of the tree is unlocked by the meritocracy institution, which spawns in China, which makes sense. We also took the national ideas and adapted to advances. Some of them made no sense and were lost, but in general, the starting bonuses ended up as the 2 ages of tradition advances you already start with, or you start with already researched. The rest is spread over the rest of the ages, with what was the finishing bonus, as in the Age of Revolutions. In many cases, they have been moved to the appropriate time as well, so currently many unique, powerful Swedish advances, as they are always, are in the Age of Absolutism. I almost read Absurdism, that's the philosophy background. We also have heavily revised those whose names survived, and when we work in making unique content for a country, we will aim to add more advances as well. So we do see tax efficiency. Okay, fair enough. Poland currently has 16 unique advances. We also have a lot of unique advances for what culture you're playing or what religion you're playing. Okay, so if they make like half of the unique ones based on religion, then that'll be a lot less work than if it's all based on country. If you're a country that can own locations or not, and for what type of government you have. Okay, so this definitely cuts down, but the replayability of being able to have a different technology strategy based on who you're playing is going to be really, really neat. I'm super excited for this. Victoria 3, the pure sandboxiness of it really makes it so that you like kind of just do the same thing every single run, and it is a little bit rough. And from a replayability perspective, from a simulation perspective, I like it better. But this has me so excited. Some ideas from the ideas group ended up directly as advances unique for certain types of countries, like the horde government ones were converted to unique advances for step hordes, and the divine ideas as unique advances for theocracies. Okay. However, most of the ideas ended up being sorted into administrative diplomacy or military focus, with at least 10 in each category for each starting age, starting with the Age of Renaissance. Why is there a question mark? Why 3? However, most of the ideas ended up being... This sounds like a statement. Okay, he was just ready to ask a question following, I guess. Why 3 categories? Alright, I'm glad you asked. here you'll tell us. Well, at the start of each age, you will pick one focus, which will add those advances to your tree for that age. Okay. Now you maybe think, why would anyone pick anything else other than military? Man, I would just always pick Diplo. First of all, there are 3 different powerful benefits and tough choices that you have to make. Let's take a look at the choice in the age of Renaissance. Administration. Better administrative efficiency, lower interest, better proximity propagation, cheaper mercenaries, and more. Proximity propagation, is that how much spread we're getting out from our... I forget the name of the mechanic, but if this allows us to expand out a little further, this would be nice. Diplomatic, better merchants, more diplomatic reputation, march subjects, cheaper war score costs, and more. Military, more prestige from battles, monthly tradition gains, and more. And so we see this in the age of Renaissance. Can we not scroll through this? All right, so we see also a bunch of these other ideas that are locked into it. So tolerance ideas, innovative ideas, empiricism, court accounting. So we see a whole bunch of the relevant texts. Okay. This looks super neat. Hard or easy choice. At the start of an age, the tree is populated with advances depending on what your country is at that time as well, so you will only get the relevant advances to choose from in that age. If you switch tags or change religion or government form, that will be seen in the next age. Okay, fair enough. The advances tree for Age of Traditions is a bit more unique in that it has many starting points, and there are many countries, particularly in the New World, that do not start with all of them. Makes sense. Metallurgy, agriculture, written alphabet, shipbuilding, and meritocracy are different starting points who all have trees. Feudalism, which requires to have embraced the institution to research, is in the agricultural tree and requires horse riding to be researched first. Legalism is part of the written alphabet tree and requires codified laws and the institution to unlock their subtree. Many more are expensive to research. This, together with lots of unique advances in the first 3 ages, provides an interesting progress for a New World or similar type of country outside the Eurasian core. That definitely makes a lot of sense, because it's going to be playing a little bit differently. Each advance that has a research cost that is the same for almost all advances. There are a few keystone advances, such as written alphabet, that are more costly, though. Every country generates research per month, which is paid directly into the advance you are currently researching. While a bit unrealistic, yeah, because it's like linear and towards one thing instead of organic. While a bit unrealistic, but good from a quality of life perspective, you could store up to a year's research without having advance being researched. Well, okay, fair enough. There's a sort of catch-up mechanic where advances from an earlier age are cheaper than the current age. That makes sense. This amount of research you do depends on what type of country you're in, if you're a settled country or a nomadic group of pops, and the power of your liturgical language. Liturgical? I don't have to read this word very often. Isn't this, like, more often in religious spheres? Anyways, the satisfaction of the clergy and estate and the average literacy of your country also impacts how quickly you research. So we see a little bit of modifiers here. Settled country, just base 1. Power of the language, 0.18. Average literacy, clergy, estate satisfaction. As you build up literacy of your population, your research will grow. You could also fully automate research and let the AI keep researching for you. Really love the features where they're allowing you to fully automate stuff, allowing you to either focus on the nitty-gritty or just kind of leave it up to the AI. And of course, we got a proper research queue so that you can select, thank God, so you can just select which text you want to get, and it will add all the prerequisites to the queue as well, and you can keep adding any valid advances to the queue. Stay tuned, as next week we will delve into the fun and joy of exploration. Oh, I'm so excited. Colonization was my favorite thing in EU4. Really excited to be able to see that. I think, is this a bigger kind of tree that we get here at the end? No, it's just kind of the one we saw before with all the other advances, but very, very excited. Very cool that they've moved some of the stuff off of, traditions onto, or what was it, national ideas, and technology levels and national ideas have been moved over to kind of just this full advanced thing. I think that this is going to be a little bit better. It's pretty exciting. I'm super excited. Yeah, I'm so excited for this game just in general. So I know I'm just like, oh, I'm super excited at every single one of these, but that's just how it is. All right. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. It looks like there's a little bit of spelling error in the back where he misspelled Happy Wednesday, but this has been like the third Happy Wednesday in a row, so we can't complain. I mean, we can, and we will, but also we can't. So if you like this video, feel free to like, comment, subscribe. You know, do the YouTube algorithm. There's links down below to various things like Discord and Patreon and stuff like that. But other than that, have a happy Wednesday.